I was surprised. At first we were told there was a guest speaker coming, so then when I found out it was a dog, I was very surprised by that, but thankful for the opportunity to have a little bit of comic relief and a new character in the room.
We mentioned that if anybody's ever hurt, then sometimes the athletic training students will get a chance to evaluate them. And Marty happened to mention that his dog had just gone through ACL surgery. And I was like, that would be really interesting.
Based on the pictures we saw today, it's surprisingly similar how their anatomy looks and how it kind of functions, and we can even do the same test to see if there is an ACL there. So it's pretty cool to see that similarity.
For me, I've seen 300 or 400 or 500 athletes come through with this, and so it doesn't always hit me the little things you pick up when you watch somebody move and how that might relate to their function. And our students here are so used to us talking about how athletes work, or how an elderly person might walk, or how a typical, adolescent might walk. But if you have to see someone that you're not really familiar with what they do or how they work, in this case a K-9, you have to think a little bit more about what their function means and what things they need to do.
There was so much crossover between the two, whether it was anatomy or the way that you can use the same test, or just simple functions like the owner had mentioned, just working on sitting and standing, and it seems so obvious, but I don't think I would have thought that the crossover for the disciplines would be the same.
You can kind of take some of those principles of, okay, we just need to do some simple squats first, or just some walking. Same with dogs, they just need to sit and stand, or even do some passive range of motion. So just some simple stuff, and then you can see how it gradually gets better and better, because Arlo is 6 weeks post-op, so now he's got a little bit more movement, and they can do a little bit more stuff, but it's kind of seeing that gradual progression.
Looking at their gait, seeing how much weight bearing they have, looking at their range of motion. The motion was very obvious that he was a bit tender and didn't want to walk on it just like we would, so I think the comparison was a great experience.
Everybody seems to open up around animals, and so sometimes it's a little bit easier to talk about stuff or to get your mind stimulated again, instead of the thing that you see every single day by watching me talk even.
I just think it was neat of the university to take the time to provide us an example of a K-9 that it took us by surprise, but it was also joyful. It was kind of a break in the classroom, but a truly good learning experience to compare the two.
This is definitely a first. It's definitely a good first. I really enjoy being around animals, so it was fun. It was a good stress reliever too.